Hey guys, Neff here. Thanks for joining me today. I hope y'all had a very Merry Christmas this year. Today we're going to be looking at the Miwa U9. It's a Japanese lock that's regularly used on apartment buildings and homes in Japan. It's a 9-lever lock, hence the name U9. I'm not sure how many depths of cut it can get in the key, but every lever is full of false gates, and it is one of the most difficult locks I've ever done. You can see the sidebar right there will fall in. Ooh, boom. And we'll go ahead and go over everything going on inside of that and why it is so hard if I can get it picked here. So the one, you can see there's a few different formats here. They have quite a few different options. This is kind of like a mortise format. And then we've got, I don't even know what these are called, but we've got these kind of formats. So we're going to be doing this one today, which has this key. And the camera doesn't want to focus. There we go. It's going to have that key. A lot of high cuts on there. And I'll go over exactly what I'm doing once we get her locked up here. So let's get her in the vise and see how it goes. Alrighty guys, we got her locked up here. Here is the key. You'll see the sidebar drop in right there once it turns. Boom. And once the sidebar drops in, we are open. We're going to use this small wiper insert that's been bent at a 45. I like this springy one. It helps me ease up on tension without dropping everything. And then we've got this 16 thousandths hook, which when I tried like a 20 thousandths or thicker, it really didn't want to do much in here. So I think the levers are in different spots on a lot of the locks. In this one, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it starts switching at the end there. We're going to start with number 2, which is almost a max lift. And this cut has a false gate followed by a flat spot and then a true gate. So little click, we're in the false gate. I'm going to break past that. And now we are on the flat spot before it gets to its true gate. I'm gonna, number 1 is like a low lift. I'm just gonna push it. There's a tiny click there. That's been set. So number 2 still hasn't been set, but I don't necessarily want to. We want this sidebar to kind of partially set so that I can work with the other levers. 3 and 4 are also very low lifts. Tiny click on 3. Nothing on 4, so I'm gonna have to move 2 up a little bit more. I don't know if you heard that, but we just got to click on 2. Light click on 4. So 3 and 4 are both low lifts. I just broke them past their first, like, to get them started. They need to go just a little bit more to get to their gate. But I don't want that yet because I want to be able to work with the pins. So I'm on 5 on the right. That's a max lift. So I'm going all the way up, not even worrying about anything, just mashing it up there. Now I'm going to hit 7. 7 has the same cut as 2. So it's going to have a false gate, and then a flat section, and then a true gate. So I just got a tiny click, it's in the false gate. Now I'm going to have to release tension until I can get it past its false gate. But if you listen, that skipping sound, that's usually what they feel like when they're set. So I don't know how anybody can do these locks without having a key to map. Having a keyless one and picking it would be a huge achievement to me. Alright, I just broke past the false gate on 7. I may have dropped something, so I'm going to check 2. 2's good, 3's good. Alright, I'm going to check 6 on the left, which is also a max lift, so I'm just going to mash it up. Alright, we are mashed up on 6. Let's go back and check 5 and 7. 5 was a max lift, so just mashing it up. 7 feels pretty good. Alright, 8 is just a low lift, so I'm just going to click it once, it'll be fine. Yep, little click, got some core movement. Alright, now we're going to work on 9. This one's one of the harder ones. It would be, I don't know, like a 6 out of a 10. It's like a mid lift. So there's a couple of false gates to break through here. So I'm releasing tension to try and get it broke free, while also trying not to drop much. Okay, we just broke free. I'm cranking the tension back down. It feels pretty high up and pretty loose. I think we're good. So now we're gonna go and do, like I said, we're gonna start skipping our pick past things to see what feels loose. That's number 2, it feels good. Number 1 feels good. 3 and 4 are gonna need that small amount to get up into their gate, so I'm about to do that. There goes 3, and I did have core movement. There goes 4. Checking 6 just to mess with it. So 6 at the end has been my gateway a lot, and I'll explain that in a minute. So I'm going to check 9. Like I said, that mid lift is really rough. So 9 feels good. 7 feels good. Alright, so now at this point, literally everything feels loose and like it's all in a gate. Could be false gates, could be true. That's the hard part for this lock for me. But since I had the key, I knew that everything was pretty much at the right height, so I didn't know what to do, and I kept getting hemmed up. Well, the sidebar has bitten enough that if you're confident that you've got your heights, you can just start really being mean to it. So that's what I'm going to do. And when I said that 6 was usually my gateway, that's why. I would end up being mean to 6, and it would kind of click up into its gate and let me open it. So I'm checking 6 right now. Nothing yet. So 7, 6, and 5 are ones to check. Being mean to 7 right now. Like I said, that one was almost a max lift, so it should be in its gate. But I'm just hammering on it. Alright, now I'm going to go to 5. Oh, there we go. So 5 just needed, it was already a loose feeling, but it just needed to be bumped up a little bit more to get into its gate. So now I will show you the inside of it, and we'll talk about why I was getting all specific about all those things. So let's get this bad boy gutted. Alrighty guys, let's take a look at what we got here. Okay, so there isn't really much to these things. Let me get my hand around that. So these parts here are really the most annoying to put the back of it together, because you have to get all 4 of these in motion. Even the snap ring doesn't really like snap in. You have to kind of place it, and then screw stuff in, but regardless. So then it just slides right in the cylinder here, which has nothing to it except for a sidebar groove. Smooth otherwise. Here's our sidebar, which is just a flat bar to bite in there. No big deal. There's our springs for it. Here is the magic, and it's just really, really cool. I don't know why we don't see more of this in the US and stuff. But anyway, these are fragile. If you look, the whole lock can move. Like, I could tear this apart in an instant just by pulling out these 2 sides, and the whole thing would fall apart. So they are crimped in place, but everything moves if you want it to. Down here, these are little leaf springs that the levers push against. I'll show you that first. So, trying to do it without jerking around. See how the springs move. There we go. That's all. They're just pushing against it, and they go side to side, but they're kind of in a C shape. So there's some lever movement. So just so you can get a visual, and why I don't know that I could ever do a keyless one of these. It took me multiple times of gutting this, staring at the key, trying to figure it out. But number one, you can see, was a low lift. So number one is on the left here, so we can see that there's a gate up front there. But if you go too far, you've got some shallow false gates. That's not too big of a deal. But look at this deep false gate in the back. If you max lifted that, that's going to feel like it jiggles, okay? Number two, same deal. Actually, I thought I had a flat section. It doesn't. So you have that false gate up front, which makes it feel like it's set, and it's pretty deep. Then you have those shallow ones. Those are really nothing. And then you have your deep one right there. 3 and 4 were the ones that I said you just needed to break past, and then it would have a flat section and a gate. You can see that. So I would click it past that nub, and then it would be on that flat section. And then later on, I pushed it into the gate because with the way my tension was working, the sidebar was binding front to back. So I would get it kind of pushing down on stuff here, and then I'd have just enough to work back here without being completely locked up. So that's 3 and 4. 5 was, what's the deal with 5? 5 was a max lift, so let's put the key all the way in. So you can see there's the gate there, all the way in the back. But that one does have a deep false gate up front as well, right there, or right in the middle there. So, you know, like I said, without the key, it's really tough to know this stuff. Here's number 6, which went the other way. That one was also a max lift, so you've got your false gate up front. The shallow false gates really just don't do much. It's these deep ones that are really going to mess your day up. And then there is the deep one right there, so when it sets. 7 was another one like 2, where you get a light one up front, and then all the way at the back you have a true gate. These ones are a little rough, so it is this cut here. Let me get so it's this cut and then that cut. You can see they're almost max cuts, but if you push them all the way up, I would have to say that is the only time the shallow gates can get you, because you don't know how far to let it down. Because on those ones you can get a see, they have a couple of shallow false gates right at the end there, and then you don't know how to let down, so then you let it down to that that deep false gate, and you're like, okay, well, where's the gate? So problems. 7, so this is 8. 8 on this one was just a minimal nothing. You can see it just bumps right into its gate. And then 9 was a middle cut almost, you can see. So that one was a rough one. Let's see what we had here. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. It has one of the deep false gates, then a flat section, and then you're in your true gate. So I guess it really isn't so bad. But knowing that it's in the middle, and then look, if you bump it too far, you're at all those shallow false gates. So I'm just wanted you guys to see that this lock is just deceptively difficult. The deep false gates is what messed me up, because you kind of skip your pick along them, and you're feeling for that jiggle test. Oh, is it set? Is it set? Well, yeah, it feels set, and it's not. And then everything feels set, and really all you need to do is hammer on something to get the sidebar to fully bite. So like I said, this is one of the hardest locks I've ever done. However, I think it's an awesome design. That's why I own a couple of them. And somebody actually sent me this one, so thank you so much for doing that. It motivated me to finally finish this, and I appreciate it. Any comments, questions, suggestions, or feedback, I'm happy to hear it, guys. You'll have a happy new year and a great night.